out through the mouth. And then we're going to try to bring that to our belly. Now, if you have a difficult time with this stretch, grabbing both feet and pulling them toward your butt, you can go back to that side lying version, and that's totally fine. But here, guys, I'm trying to open up the front of my hips, stretch the quads, and breathe. It can be really difficult to get air in with this belly pressed into the floor position, which will just make your lungs a little bit stronger as you fight through that. Breathing in. Try to lift the chest away from the floor. Press the knees up just a bit. Guys, don't force this. One more breath. And then release that down. We're going to go up. You're going to hook your down leg under the top leg. Hook your down arm under the top leg and try and grab from underneath the knee. And we're going to just make some shoulder sweeps. I'm sweeping that arm all the way around, trying to touch my rear end. I'm going to bring it all the way back. That down leg, I want to kick it hard as if I'm closing a door with it and holding the door shut. Looking over the shoulder as you rotate. And try and hug that knee up a little higher. We're going to go 2 more. Big reach around the world with that arm. And 1 more. And then carefully, guys, roll it to the other side. Again, top knee folds up. Hook that bottom arm underneath. Grab it tight. Looking good. And then get that reach and roll. Stretching the hip, the chest, the shoulders. If you follow the hand with the eyes, head, and neck, you're also going to get some cervical movement in, which is a good thing. So look in the direction the hand is rolling. Common error here is just moving the arm. I want you to roll the whole body back up and over. So make it an entire torso roll up and roll down as we do these last 2. And then 1 more. Bring it up into a seated posture. I want you to spread your feet as wide as you can to loosen up the hips. Pam, there's no yawning. And reaching forward, exhale down. And in this position, hold here. I want you to press the knees toward the floor and make sure the toes are vertical. Don't want those toes flop out. So toes directly to the ceiling. We're going to lean in again and breathe out. Try to hold the range of motion that you've earned. Take another breath in and fold forward. Breathe out. And 1 more time, breath in. Reach it forward and breathe it out. And then, guys, we're going to split one hand behind and one hand is in front. I want to look over my shoulder. So I'm going to try to rotate the torso as far as I can to keep the legs nice and still. Looking over the shoulder and breathe. And then I want to bring that hand that's in front of me and I want to put that behind me as well. Hook that opposite leg with it and look a little bit further. Nice big shoulder stretch, torso stretch. Breathe out. Then we're going to go to the opposite side, you guys. So reach. One hand is in front. One hand is behind to start. Set up by looking over the shoulder. And then take that hand, reach it across that leg and try to pull a little bit further. One more deep breath in and let it out. And guys, back to the middle. We're going to go back down to the front. Let's see if we can get a little bit further this time. So reach in, see if you can reestablish where you're at. Maybe you're already a little bit further. Big breath in once you get stuck there. Let that air out and try and gain a little more. And again, big breath in and try and gain a little more. Very nice, you guys. I'm gonna go one more seated stretch here. Try to pull one foot in. We're gonna touch it into the opposite thigh. We're gonna reach down toward that toe and up overhead with the opposite arm, reaching and folding forward. Lat stretch on this side, little hip stretch over here, and some hamstring stretch as you come toward that toe. Big breath in. And blow all that air out plus a little extra. One more time, breath in. And then all that air out plus a little more. And then slowly come off of that side. We're going to bring the other side in. Tuck that foot right into the thigh. Reach down, up and over. Big breath in. Pull all that air out plus some stale stuff stuck in there. One more time. Nice work, guys. So as we come on up, making our way to quadruped, we're going to put one hand behind the low back. And with that hand behind the low back, we're going to do some torso rotations. I'm pushing the floor down. So stiff elbow on this side. I don't want to have that bent arm. I'm pushing down. My hand reaches behind. I'm going to open the shoulder, look to the ceiling, breathe out. I'm going to roll that shoulder back down, trying to touch my shoulder to my thumb of the opposite hand. But guys, don't bend. Don't have to lower down. Just go as far as you can without bending that opposite elbow. I'm going to roll it back up, push the floor away. Roll, reach, look up. Make sure we're sitting back on our toes here. So I'm pushing my hips back as I come down, breathing in. And then I come back up, breathing out. Now see just how high, without creating pain, how high you can bring that hand behind your back. So give it a little walk up there. We're going to go 2 more with that hand up as high as you can. Lift, breathe out. One more time. Down, breathing in. Exhale, breathe out. And then let's go get that opposite side. So other hand rotates behind the back. Walk it up there comfortably, not creating pain, but a stretch is a good thing. Push the floor down, pull toward the ceiling. And then as I lower back down, I'm going to regain my breathing. Inhale in. Exhale up and out. Pushing the floor down. And back down, inhale it in. Back up, breathe it out. Now walk that hand a little higher, see if you can get a little more range. We're going to go 2 more from that position. Last one. All right. We're going to establish what you plan to use if you plan to use your split squat rear leg elevated. You guys, back here I have my bench. I have 1 foot up on my bench, and that knee is on the mat. I'll show it from the side view. Sort of looks like this. You can see my back foot is hooked up on the bench. Kitchen chair, if it's a low height. Couch works really well. Benches work well. Ottomans do the trick. So if you even have a fold-up chair, that might work. But we're going to start in that position, you guys, just to stretch. So I want you to set up your object. Chair, bench, stability ball works against the firm object too. And we're going to just hang out there and stretch. So guys, as I come back here to my rear leg elevated position, I'm gonna get up nice and tall, and I'm just gonna work in and out of the stretch. So this is a giant stretch for the quadricep. I'm rocking back until my heel and my butt come together, keeping my upper body upright, so I don't want to be shortened down here. I want to fight through that tension, rock it forward away from the chair or bench, and then rock it back. If you can go hands behind the head, chest up, elbows out, that's going to help open everything through the front. So I'm going to come back to my screen. I want to see where everybody's at. Very cool. Add some breathing to this, in through the nose and out through the mouth. One of the things that can happen here, guys, is you can see your hips kind of get out of alignment. Putting your hands on your hips and sort of pulling your hips into alignment is always helpful. So that leg that's up there on the step can often drop down at the hip to try to fight the stretch. You want to try to pull up and level the hips in this position. One more deep breath in, and then let that air out as you prepare to move and switch to the opposite side. So bringing yourself to the opposite side, hands on hips, level up those hips. See some of you guys folded up some mats, have yoga mats, soft surfaces. That's helpful. The softer the surface here, the kinder to the knee this will be. All right, so once you're getting into position, level off the hips, hands on hips, make sure they're even. I don't suggest resting your hands on the front thigh, either behind the head or pulled right onto the hip bones. Is just a less lazy position where you'll find yourself sort of pulling down. This will keep you upright, and that's what we want. Be mindful, I don't want you guys arching hard into the lumbar and shortening the hip. Try to roll the pelvis underneath and stretch through the front of that hip, right? So I don't want to hang out here. I want to tuck the tail, pull the stretch right up and through the front. Nice deep breath in. Now in the workout portion today, guys, once we get into the movement of this, you are more than welcome to add load to this. Because this is going to be more of a speed-based workout, setting less than 20 minutes on the clock to do your 5 rounds, it's probably not something you're going to be increasing real heavy loads. So essentially the same weight you use for your split squat, you might use for your row, and you might use for your press as you're moving through this. And a 10-pound weight could do the trick for all of that if that's what you have. Guys, come on off of that stretch. So we're going to talk about the one-legged burpee. Have no fear, my friends. The one-legged burpee is not as bad as it sounds. So let's all start with the 2-leg toe touch walkout. So I'm going to get to the back of my screen here. I'm going to bend. I'm going to touch my toes, and I'm just going to walk out my hands. Once I get into this position, I'm going to lower down slowly and press up, just gently stretching through this position. So make your way down there, give it a little press up and stretch. So we're loosening up this position right now. But when I do my burpee, I want to avoid getting into a heavy extension like this and rather stay much tighter through my abdominals. Bring your belly back down. Take a breath in. We're going to peel ourselves back up one more time. Back up, breathing out. I want you to rock back onto your knees into child's pose, pressing back. And then we're going to go back into down dog, pushing my heels back, and then walking my hands back. All right, so here's the one-legged version. Now, you can stay with what we just did. Toe touch, walk out, little press up at the bottom, and then work your way back. Otherwise, you're going to stand on one foot. So I lift my other foot just a few inches off the ground. So I'm standing on one foot. I'm going to bring my hands down to the floor. I'm going to step it back. I'm going to step it in, and I'm going to stand it back up. So one more time from the front. Hands are on deck. I'm going to reach down with my hands, step my foot back, step my foot back in, and all the way back up. And you notice I did not go all the way chest to the ground on that version, the single leg burpee, guys. Yeah, you can do that, but I'm not going to recommend that today. So try that, guys. Standing on one foot, bend, grab the floor with your hands. Once you've secured your hands to the floor, you're going to hop back into a long lengthened single leg plank. You're going to jump it back forward. and you're gonna peel it back up. And you wanna make sure you come all the way to the top. Now, whether you do this as 5 on one leg or 5 on the other leg, or you alternate, doesn't matter to me as long as you get 10 repetitions in, right? So remember, the suggested rep is not all the way to the floor. It's just in that plank position and then back up. And lastly, the option for that would be 5 of these guys, toe touch, walk out, lower down, peel up, press back, and walk back. And you'd be hitting that 5 times, and that's fine versus the single leg burpee. So don't feel that you need to do that. So we have split squat, rear leg elevated. We have one leg burpee. Before we go any further, let's talk about how to move out of that rear leg elevated position, guys. We're no longer going to stretch it, but we're going to make a movement. So I'm lowering down and I'm lowering back. I'm lifting back up. So lower down and lift back up. It's 5 on one side, 5 on the other. And if you want to add load to that, you are more than welcome to do that. Like I said, adding a dumbbell either up high or down low, it does not matter, but just keep a consistent way of loading it. So guys, let's do one set now. Show me your 5 split squats on each leg. Let's see what we got for a split squat option.
Hey, Matt.
Yo.
Can I do like glute bridges or something instead of that?
You absolutely want to do your elevated glute bridge. So instead of using the elevated split squat, use a one leg elevated glute bridge.
Okay.
Just make sure that knee stays hard to your chin. Yeah, see how much more room you had there? Yep. And on this one for you, I would do all 5 on one side. Yep, and that's going to help you keep it there. So here, one of the questions that I often get, guys, is should we go all the way down, or how far down should I go now? I like to have a place for your knee to hit, because that's telling you that you're getting to the same spot every single time. If you're not going all the way to the floor, like I see a few of you did, I'm going to say that this is a great thing for other people to practice too. Put a pillow underneath it. So if I have a pillow underneath my knee here, I can hit the pillow every single time. Just as simple as me coming off of that mat, I just gained 2 more inches range of motion. So this is actually a deeper range. So wherever you choose to bring that knee to, my suggestion would be to be in the same spot every single time. Use a cushion or a pad. A yoga mat folded up works well. So absolutely hitting the same spot is a helpful tool. So it's 5 on each side there, guys. Then you go to your single leg burpee. Let's talk about our floor seated overhead press. So our floor seated overhead press, guys, if you have a soup can or something light, so I'm grabbing my remote control here for my TV, I might make this a overhead reach up. And so I'm going 5 straight arm reach up. So if it's light, I'm going here. If I have something that's a little bit more heavy and it doesn't create pain in my shoulder, I can make it an overhead press. So a lighter weight stays out in front and I'm reaching up and reaching down. A heavier weight's going to go here. Now my stance to sit is here with my feet spread wide. So I want to try to reach into that same position we stretched out. I'm pressing up and I'm pulling back down, and we're going to hit 5. Really gnarly position to press from. So guys, give me 5 on each side now. Again, it can be a straight arm reach up, or it can be that overhead press. If you're doing the overhead press, tuck the elbow in just like a front rack position with a kettlebell. Here we go. Making sure you're breathing. Exhale as you push up. Inhale as you bring it back down. The next pattern, after you do 5 presses on one side and 5 presses to the other side, is the bird dog row. Couple of options for this, guys. I can choose to do an arm and a leg movement with my opposite knee on the ground. So I'm just pulling my remote control here. You're welcome to use, again, a heavier water bottle would work really well just to give you some resistance to pull against. And I'm using opposite arm and opposite leg reach back. If I don't have heavier loads but want to challenge this position, my knee comes off the floor. So I'm in this position and my knee is up off the ground. Really, really difficult balance drill as I'm moving in and out. Notice my butt's not way up and I'm not up here. I want to stay down nice and long, nice and low. I'm reaching the elbow up past my rib cage, starting the lawnmower, then back down, and the arm and the leg reach together. So if you have a heavier load to row, you're welcome to go a little heavier and keep your knee down. If you don't and you want to challenge the position, you're welcome to bring your knee up. Any one of those options will work depending on what you're using. So give me 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Try to synchronize the movement. As the arm rows, the leg goes. Jacqueline, you seem super hesitant about this one. You're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So you're on same arm, same leg, Jacqueline. Make sure you're using opposite. So opposite arm would be rowing. Much easier. Ah, yes. All right, so Maria brings up a good point with the kettlebell there. The challenge with the kettlebell for this, guys, is that the kettlebell has this like 4-inch extender arm at the bottom, which as I do my row is going to create a little bit of a problem and a shortened range of motion. If you have a small stool or something your hands can come up on, even your couch would work for this. So you could make it this one leg, one arm row, just so you're getting full range of motion. So if the weight you're choosing to use is a kettlebell, you might want to bring your opposite hand up off the floor, simply for full range of motion in the row. Yeah, she's got yeah, Maria, very good. You got that yoga block out. That's helpful. Very cool. So be unique so that you can get full range of motion with that, guys. I'll go from the top again. It's rear leg elevated split squat, 1 leg burpee, floor sitting overhead press, bird dog, 1 arm row. And then lastly, it's hands to feet stability ball passes. As we said earlier, you're welcome to use. I have my daughter's cool colored football. So you can use dodgeball, a yoga block, a beach towel rolled up, a yoga mat rolled up. But I put it in my feet, I pass it to my hands, and they come back down to that hollow rock position. Put it in my feet. That's 1, 2, 3. Every time I pass it, I'm counting a repetition. So you're going to go 5 repetitions, holding your back flat to the floor. The legs and the arms come both down, and then they fold back up. And then they both come down, and then they fold back up. Amy, that looks like the world's most giant marshmallow. My daughter would love that. She'd have that on the grill with 2 pieces of chocolate smushing it. So a couple things, guys, that we see when we do this. When I come down, I don't want to hit the floor and have this moment of like turn off. And then I have to kind of yank everything back off the floor. So what I mean by that is as I bring that down, I'm going to hand it, I'm going to bring it down. I want to stay nice and tight and controlled. I don't want to bring it down, lay flat on the floor, and then you see the knees bend, and it's like this huge effort where the knees bend and I have to throw momentum at it. That's kind of a weaker position to challenge the core from. So I would rather you either bend the knees and tap them and then bring it back through rather than turning off and then trying to yank everything back up. Does that make sense? So do your best to stay nice and tight in that bottom position. Don't rest and turn off. So guys, if you need to write this down, it's a good idea to have a little note card in front of you just so you don't get lost, because the flow of this is going to be 16 minutes to do between 4 and 5 rounds. We already kind of did one together, so 4 rounds would be awesome. I'm going to give you 16 minutes to work 5 split squats on each leg. Use load to challenge it, okay, rather than breeze right through it, or range of motion will also challenge it too. You do 5 on your right, 5 on your left. Then have fun with that single leg burpee. We did not do a full set of that. So you're going to see what that feels like once you get into this. So it's split squat, burpee on one leg, then overhead press from that seated position. So you're sitting and pressing overhead, pushing up, pulling down, kind of a recovery position from the burpee.
Hold on, Matt. On the one-legged burpee, we were doing 5 on one leg, 5 on the other?
100% yes.
Okay.
It's all 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Both legs, both arms, both burpees, and then both arms rowing. You want to do 5 on one side, 5 on the other from that bird dog row position. And then lastly, guys, it's that hands to feet pass. 5 total repetitions. Count every pass that you make. Put your thumbs up if you are 100% confident in what you are about to do and how many rounds you're going to do it for and what the exercises are. All right, perfect. I'm seeing some thumbs. That's a good thing. All right. Hey, guys, listen, 16 minutes to do your 5 rounds. Again, it's not a race. Do the best quality work that you can. And if you don't count how many rounds you're on, don't worry about it. Keep going from the top. Squat, burpee, sitting press, 1 arm row, and hands to feet stability ball pass. I'm going to put 10 seconds on the clock, guys, here to get you rolling. I'm going to play some music while we move. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and begin. Show off your squat option, you guys. Get into position. Get some load if you need it. If you're hitting that single leg bridge option for the rear leg elevated squat, we want to make sure that knee is staying pulled hard to the chest. So that opposite knee stays pulled toward you. Also, instead of doing the squat, you could make that a stretch as well, guys. So instead of doing the squat, you can make that a stretch. Great options for the burpee, guys. I like what I'm seeing. Some of you guys doing the walkout, some of you guys doing the single leg jumping out. You're welcome to add the single leg push-up to that if you want. If you missed push-ups yesterday, you can add them today. That's it. Yep. Notice where you are in your stream, guys. If each time you do your burpee, try to be in that same spot. Try not to maneuver from one side of your screen and end up on the other side. Your targets are always the same. After your burpee, you're going to do your 1 arm overhead press. Maria, I would just bring those feet a little closer together on that. I like your option, just get them closer. There we go, guys. Kettlebells, dumbbells, anything works for that 1 arm overhead press. Yep, when you're pressing, guys, opposite arm you can hold out to the side. You can place it on your hip. Just don't hug your thigh with it, so don't pull on your main thigh. See some of you guys moving into that bird dog row. Amy, you hit the row too, right? There we go. Great work, you guys. Perfect, Jacqueline. That's the movement. Opposite arm and leg. Feeling 5 on each side, right? And guys, when you do that hands to feet pass through, it's a total of 10. Count every pass that you make. Nice option, Nancy Proto, using an assisted switch block here, like elevated. Very cool. I don't know where you're holding it. It looks like a walking stick. Casey, looks like you added a loaded medicine ball to the hands to feet pass. I would expect nothing less. Just don't drop it on your nose, girlfriend. That's it, Ann. Great movement. Nice pattern. Really nice. Much better job on these hands to feet passes, guys. Staying nice and tight, not snatching the floor and turning everything off. There you go, Maria. Good angle on that. No. Try to bring that front foot forward a little bit more. Yep, gotta go. Go away, Lisa and Carly. Ladies sticking together in the garage. Way to go, ladies. No way, Rex. Get those hamstrings and calves loosened up. Yeah, guys, that seated overhead press position is a challenging position to push from. Again, you're using that opposite hand out to the side rather than pulling on that inner thigh. It's always helpful. Back in that burpee, guys. Nice, strong step out position. There you go. I see some of you guys challenging that knee off the floor on that third round row. Really good option, guys. Very strong. Maybe be a little wobbly and work through that. Work that out. Yeah, that's it, guys. On that overhead press, looking to lock that arm out. Good, solid block out. Punch the elbow through. So, guys, you're just at about 8 minutes. So the halfway mark here. So you should be on I know some of you guys are finishing 2. Some of you guys are on to your 3rd one already. So keep working through this. It's like you're starting to challenge the dumbbell weight on these rows. Those of you guys that have that option, I love it. Otherwise, again, the position of that bear crawl one-arm row with the kickback and no load works really well too. Let's see it, Miss Rex Road. There you go. Touch those toes, get them loose. Great option, Jacqueline, keeping those knees bent. Really nice option. Remember, control of the movement, guys, matters way more than load or speed. Dylan, are you checking the playbook? text in the morning. Gotta move, Phyllis. That a baby. Get that hand out to the side instead of on that thigh. Just so, yeah, it didn't look like you're pulling, but I don't want to have to wonder. Wait, Alicia Williams, attack that burpee. Good girl. Yep, Nancy, I would still move your knee in and out with that. So still make that knee, yep. Make that knee come in as your hand goes down. So get your leg moving with that motion. Don't just hold that leg out. Get it moving. Yeah, you want to bring it in, Nancy. Yeah, bring it in as you come down. So my leg's going to come in as I come down. I'm sorry, I lied. I want to go up and back. There we go. That's better. Now we got it moving. That's what I mean by moving. Really impressed, guys, with those single leg burpees, not letting your lips travel behind your fingertips. So when you jump that one leg back, we want to keep the eyes in the face out over the hands. Really good. It's easy to start drifting away from the fingertips. You guys are being well disciplined. Don't forget you can add that push up if you're feeling spicy. Yep, when that arm comes down in the press, try to tuck it right into the rib cage hard rather than leaving it out. So it's nice and tight to the rib cage and then punch it up. Tight to the rib cage and then punch it up. That's it, Jacqueline. Great job. Last 4 minutes, guys. Last quarter here. As you're comfortable with the weights you're using, I want you to try to increase the speed in which you're using them. So moving through this diligently. reps, guys, 90 seconds. Full bliss. Like, get through the round of work. Amy, if you want to get one last set of split squats, you got plenty of time to do it.
Now more than ever, Unitil wants to help you.
Oh, the commercial right when, man, devastating. It's all right, guys. Work this last minute out. Finish it strong. That away, Maria. Keep that upper body nice and tall. Great speed of movement, guys. I see you guys making your transitions quick from sitting to lying to standing.
delicious taste of happy with a Starbucks caramel ribbon crunch frappuccino blended beverage. Swirl of icicle goodness.
40 seconds to finish the round.
Your day deserves a treat. Download the Starbucks app to order ahead.
No way, Rex. Come on, baby. There we go. Good option. 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2. So guys, if you want to finish the round you're working on because you're on that leg drop or ball catch, you might finish that. Totally fine. I'm going to unmute everybody for a moment. How's everybody feeling? Carly, I saw you peeking at your heart rate monitor back there. We're around 150-ish, 140-ish, somewhere in there. Higher than that. What was the number?
Oh, I am unmuted. Well, like 150.
Awesome. Anybody else have a heart rate monitor on that they were checking? Just curious. Amy, what was your number?
Like 156.
And Dylan, what were you thinking?
I think mine only got up to like 145.
145. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice, guys. So the target on that wasn't a devastatingly high intensity. It was just kind of that middle of the road, 150-ish. And again, that's a different intensity depending on how old you are or what your max heart rate is a more accurate way to say that. So guys, I'm going to give you another minute here to take a breather. So that was the first minute to rest. While you guys enjoy the second minute of breathing, I'm going to go over the exercises. Guys, this last portion is much shorter. It's 4 minutes. We're going to go back and forth from mountain climbers to bicycle crunches. And so it's 20 seconds of work in that pattern, 10 seconds to flip over, and then 20 seconds working in the opposite pattern. So your mountain climber, a couple options. We can do the slow climber, which is totally fine. I can do a sliding climber where my feet are just dragging. I can do the jump climber. No matter which option I choose, I want to stay long and low. I don't want my booty getting high in the air. I don't want it to look like this. So long and low. Any rendition of that works for me with as little booty jump as possible if you're going to jump that position. So guys, we're going to put 20 seconds on the clock. We're going to do our first round of 20 as a practice here, just so everybody can establish their option. And a front plank works really well too. So if you're challenged by that front plank and you want to just hold that position and create super tension, that's fine for me. We're going to go in 5, 4, just that one exercise, 20 seconds. 3, 2, and go. So get a flavor of 20 seconds, low and strong in this position, guys. Hips are in line. 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. You'll rest from that position. You'll go to your back side, and it's a bicycle crunch. Essentially, it's the same exercise upside down, adding a little bit of upper body rotation. So I want to go elbow toward the knee. They do not have to touch. Same rule. I don't want to smash that leg down, bend the knee, and peel it up. I want to try to stay nice and tight. Just a little upper body rotation as I turn the elbow toward the knee. So I'm going to put 20 seconds on the clock for you to experiment with that one. So 3, 2, 1, go. 10 seconds. And time. All right, friends. If you're wondering if that round counts, no, it does not. We have 4 rounds. We have 4. That's what I was smirking about, Casey, when this started. We have 4 rounds. It's going to be 1 mountain climber right into bicycle crunches, and we'll repeat that sequence 20 on, 10 off for 4 rounds. So I need everybody in the mountain climber setup position so I know you're ready to rock and roll. I have the official timer. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Time. 10 seconds to roll to your backside. Take a breath in, get set up. In 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Reaching the leg nice and long, guys. Stretch that leg out, peel it in. Oh, get those abs, get those abs. Time. Back to your front side, mountain climber position. Try to change your angle, your view for me each time we do this so I can see a different side. Ready, go. Here we go, trying to bring that elbow and that knee together. Keeping that head up, guys. Don't let that head get pushed down. 3, 2, 1. Switch to your backside. Three, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1, rest. Nice, guys. 2 down, 2 to go. Last 2 rounds. Go. Right to it, right to it, right to it. Slow or fast, you pick the pace, but control the pace you pick. Looks great, you guys. Come on, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Three, 2, 1, go. And rest. Guys, last round. Reel it over. Mountain climber position. In 3, 2, 1, go. Three, 2, 1, rest. Three, 2, 1, go. Yeah, hold it, hold it. Come on, almost there, almost there, almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Great work, guys. Awesome job. Catch your breath. Wasn't that fun? Let's stretch out those abs a little bit here, guys. From the elbows on the floor Just a little gentle press up and breathe. I like to think about putting the forearms firmly into the floor and pulling the rib cage away from the hip bones. Nice deep breath in, and then exhale out. And then do that again. Deep breath in, and then exhale out. And look over one shoulder as high as you can. Breathing. And then over the opposite shoulder. Then we're going to roll it back into child's pose. Pull the knees underneath you. Sit your bum back onto your ankles and let your shoelaces flop to the floor. You can spread the knees if you're more comfortable that way. Let the arms reach out. And just settle into position, breathing. And then as you peel yourself out of that pose, guys, I want you to find a nice sitting, comfortable sitting posture. So you can cross your legs, you can stretch them out in front of you, wherever you're most comfortable. So guys, one of the most important exercises that we can practice is breathing. I'm going to steal one of Casey's breathing techniques. And today, guys, we're going to finish class. You're going to inhale in through the nose as much as you can. You're going to hold your breath for 10 seconds. And you're going to try to top that off with a little bit more air before you release it all out through your mouth. Casey, did I coach that right? Inhale, guys. So here's what it looks and sounds like. Inhaling through the nose as much as you can. Hold your breath 10 seconds. Then get a little bit more. And then blow it out. Now, this can affect people differently. You might get a little bit lightheaded. You might get a little dizzy. And if that happens, throttle back. Easy does it. We're going to try it again. Breathe it in as much as you can through the nose. Then hold your breath 10 seconds. Try to take in more. And then blow it out. So we're going to do that 3 more times. This is not something I want to see a bunch of neck muscles and lats and traps flare up. I want you guys to relax through it. Do the best you can to get the air in using your nose and your belly. Breathe it in. Hold your breath. Get a little more. And then exhale. Two more breaths, team. Breathe it in. Go for more. And blow it out. Last opportunity, gang. Breathe in, hold your breath 10 seconds, top it off, and then let it out. Really awesome job for me this morning, you guys. Thank you for finishing with a strong breathing drill to keep your lungs healthy and your mind and soul strong. Excellent work through 5 rounds, at least 5. How many of you guys know how many rounds you did? Hand up if you know how many rounds you did. That's all I'm curious. I'm cool. You guys did count. Some of you guys did. Awesome. Really great job. Movement looks solid today. I appreciate you being here. While we're here for the next month, we will be doing some stuff in-house too. Stay on the Facebook page. We are figuring out cleanliness approach to making this really work and abide by all guidelines. So stay with us. If you know of anybody that wants to join us online here too, feel free to share the link with them or give us their name and we will get in touch with them. Would love to have some new faces on here to join you and love to see you grow the community that you're surrounded by to embrace fitness as much as you do, man. This screen, you guys are so dedicated every Tuesday. It's the same people with me. And I know a lot of the other instructors have the same benefits. So if you bring a person to the screen with you, it's just going to help you be stronger and stay committed too. So thank you guys so much for being here. Help spread the love. And I will see you guys again Thursday. Don't forget, check out abs class with Dylan this week. If you haven't, check out yoga with KC tomorrow night. If you haven't, and check out all the other roll and stretch smash hit classes. They're on the schedule too. Thank you guys.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Matt.
Bye. Thanks, Matt.